can't seem to care at all for nothing.
You're listening to The Ochoman, Behind the Eight Ball, only on Ignotainment.
I'm always on the old blacklist or something.
Without further ado, the one, the only, Ochoman.
I'm trying to live my life and it just makes me so wild and mean.
Hola muchachos, my friends. It's March 24th on the Ochoman Behind the Eight Ball. And I've got my partners here, Armand, Tony, and Chris. How you guys doing today?
Good,
How we
Ochoman.
doing?
Good morning.
So, I'll tell you what, man. It's raining out.
Yes, rain.
I told you guys already I do the tip sheet for Fairmount Park Racetrack.
Boy, it seems like so long,
So
so far away. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get my ass handed to me today. I am not a good slop picker. Every time it rains, my tip sheet just goes to hell.
Oh, they're running today?
They're running today.
Oh,
they're
wow.
running.
In this
they're
mess?
running. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're running at 1 p.m.
Oh God. Well, they may be sloshing at 1 p.m. But I don't know about running.
And I know I'm just headed for a disaster today on my pick. So I hope to get at least 40. I was hoping to get 60%. That's a big number, but I was very confident with it. But now I'm looking at maybe 20% of my picks coming in because of the slop. I hate sloppy conditions on a
What do you want
racetrack.
them to do? You want them to not race?
That makes it
No,
fun.
no. If they don't race, I can't sell my tip
Exactly.
sheet. So yeah, whatever.
I would think you want the bad and off conditions.
And you're a bad.
You're kind of right, because if that happens, everyone's
Everyone becomes in the same boat.
That's
I
the same
remember
boat.
parody.
parody.
one of the worst betting mistakes of my life was I lost a trifecta on the Kentucky Derby circa 90, 91. And it was an off track that day. Not severely, but I think it was actually rated sloppy at Churchill. And I forgot that a horse named 36 Red had done really well in the slop at the Arkansas Derby.
Right, you got to look
And
for those.
I should have put him. I should have spent the extra money and put him in the bet. I should have made it a $24 bet instead of the $6 bet. I should have bought the extra slot, and I didn't. And I lost about $2,000 over it.
We've all got I should have bets.
Yes, we all have those
Well, it's
stories.
because I wasn't paying attention to track conditions.
What was the year we went to the Kentucky Derby? Remember that? That'd have been like 92 or 93.
We had a caravan.
Boy, that was unbelievable.
We
You
had-
mooned that school bus.
Okay.
You should have seen that. That was hilarious. Ocho dropped his pants.
That's just classic.
School bus. Well, they're high school kids, I think.
Yeah,
They're-
thank you.
They look like a cheerleading screw. I mean,
Yeah,
cheerleading outfit.
traumatized.
It was unbelievable.
They had to go to counseling. That high school had counselors available on Monday.
Yeah, I'm
Grievance
glad-
counselors. Yes.
For anybody who was involved in the unfortunate mooning incident,
Well, it was the same thing
counselors
as.
are standing by.
Hey, remember the bus on Slapshot? Remember that?
Yeah, the bus
Yes,
scene. Yeah,
We don't like your kind of hockey here. They showed
the whole town was out there. What song do they have? Well, it's all right and come.
Yeah. What's her name? What's her name? Nightingale.
Back.
Her Nightingale, right? Is that who did that one? Good song.
So that's
You know, the only thing I didn't like about that whole movie was Michael on Keene. You know, the guy, the pussy. The guy took off all his clothes.
Yeah, and how
He
did
was
it
a
end like
pussy.
that? How
Yeah,
did she
I didn't
end
like it. I
like
wasn't crazy
that?
about the ending, no.
Here, you guys get the cup. Who the fuck would give the cup just because some guy gets naked? And
Well, they
Yeah.
did. That's not why.
They forfeited. The guy hit the
reason
referee.
why
right?
was the opposing team hit the referee.
Yeah,
The
McCracken
The
hit
one
the
thing I
ref.
like about the scene is just as Newman is reaching for the cup.
Yeah.
He skates into the
He
scene
takes it away,
perfectly and takes it, and in one motion is off and gone.
Yeah, skating again.
I wonder.
I
how
like the
much
little
they-
grandma with her binoculars looking at him. I thought that was a nice touch.
I wonder how much they practiced on their skating for that movie. All of them.
I would imagine quite a bit. Yeah,
I would think
looked pretty
quite a bit.
realistic. The Hansons were, of course,
Hansons
real
were
players.
real players.
Yeah.
And I got to play with them once, and
I mean, where did you fucking play?
at
with them?
the arena.
You mean like at halftime?
No,
or?
no. We had we would media pickup skate day of game. They were in town for the
would've
game.
loved to see
It was
that one.
sensational. Oh, it was. And let me tell you, they weren't NHL caliber, but for however old they were then, which had to be in their 40s, they still had it. They were still buzzing them from the blue line and everything. Oh, it was great. I mean, how many times you get to skate with the Hansons?
Well, you know what? They
never,
still
for me.
sign jerseys.
Yeah,
and
they're living. They're still making them.
I got a nice autograph from all three of them on my wall, 8x10, saying, "Hey, Jono." They had a team down in Florida. It's a whole fucking story. I don't want to get into that, but I do have a autograph picture of all of them, and it says Jono and all.
Seems
that.
like every show we have some allusion to the slap shot.
You like autographs.
I do like autographs. I like.
What's your most valuable autograph?
Probably Pete Rose, and I got a picture of this picture. No one has this picture actually signed. It's a signed Pete Rose with him flipping off someone. It's a black and white with Fred Lynn in the background.
It's appropriate. I thought it was him placing a bet or something.
Oh, that's good.
From the dugout.
Did you hear that
Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with that.
He has
I'm
contacted
aboard.
Commissioner to be Manfred.
Who is this investigator, Tony, that's saying he shouldn't be in? What the fuck? You did your job. Now it's over. You got the man barred, but now who the hell are you to come back into the scene and say, no, it's not a good idea for him to be in the Hall of Fame? Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here.
There's a couple things about that. You know, if you go back to A. Bartlett Giamatti, who was the commissioner at the time, if you don't remember him,
I remember him. Let's go.
You know his son.
No, I don't know his
Yes,
son.
you do. You watch
Paul
it.
Giamatti.
Yeah, that's
Paul
his
Giamatti,
kid.
the actor. Sideways.
And then Faye Vincent became commissioner after Giamatti's death. And it wasn't commissioner for long. But Pete changed so many things about what you had to do. For instance, again, I told you guys I was an office kid at the stadium. And players used to have an open line from the clubhouse. Well, after Pete, no open line from the clubhouse. All calls had to be placed through a person upstairs, and then you had to write down who they were calling and the number.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And
No,
I mean,
you know what, though? That makes sense, though.
He changed the game in so many ways that people don't even think about.
You think about that, though, Armand, and that makes sense, because I don't want something to be shown on TV quickly getting back to the dugout by some sort of phone call being said.
Well, all I have to say about Pete Rose is I remember when he barreled into Ray Fosse during the All-Star game. And that, to me, I mean, I know it's an exhibition. I know they're just playing around. But I admire a man that plays the game to win every time he gets out there and doesn't give a damn if the game counts or not.
Bravo.
And he's playing his heart out. Whereas now, they don't care if it's a tie, and they just want to give the fans a show. And give me a break.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Pete Rose went in there and beat the crap out of that guy because he wants to score a run.
There's no doubt about Charlie Hustle's ability to play ball.
I've always been a fan of his. I love that play.
I mean, I like the hustle too. What I don't like though is saying, "Well, I only bet on my team to win."
Well, that's what he did.
And it's true. I believe him. I believe he only did bet on the Reds to win. But you have to know the message that sends to gamers and gamblers on the days that you're not betting.
Well, we don't
on your
condone
team.
it, but is it as bad? I mean, there's people on drugs that are in the Hall of Fame.
There's
I
so
mean,
many
these are
guys
not
on
good people.
coke.
Yeah,
There's so many guys on cocaine right
Dude,
now.
it's not the cardinal sin of the universe.
No,
it's just not.
big
For
deal.
instance, here's the
It's
cardinal sin of the
poor
universe.
judgment, but
I'll tell you what the cardinal sin of the universe in baseball is. Anybody who thinks any of those 8 Black Sox should ever be reinstated.
well, I don't know. Is there talk of that?
No, they're always, Joe Jackson should be reinstated.
Well, I think that
bullshit.
Yeah, but I think the question
Well,
about
wait
that
a
is,
minute.
was he involved?
Yeah, no,
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're involved or not. If you had knowledge that it was going on, you're involved.
He was against it, though. He played his ass off on that. I mean, he wasn't part
Apparently,
of that
Buck
scene.
Weaver did too, the third baseman.
I mean,
Again,
that
it does irrelevant. If you had knowledge of it, you're involved in it.
So you're saying that you should blow the
then
whistle
let's-
on your teammates?
You
then?
should be yes,
Well, I
because
don't
you're
know if I
throwing the
bought
World
that.
Series.
So you're going to forfeit the whole entire game then?
Yeah.
That's what you would be doing. The game wouldn't even. What are you going to come out and to have
Yes.
the entire town bullshit? It's
Yes.
easy for you to say that.
No,
There's
it's
goddamn
easy to
way
have some dignity.
The whole town hating you because you're jumping the gun by saying that too. That's not going on.
Right. Plus, this is Chicago, where that sort of thing's expected. I think.
Well,
I think
okay,
you'd come
but
under more calumny if you blew the whistle.
if you
on
guys
it.
want to take that tack, that's fine. But then the tack that you then have to assume and take is that all sports are fixed.
Well,
No, I'm
we've
not
seen that
saying
with the
that.
Dallas Cowboy Green Bay game.
I knew that. Not only is Slapshot always alluded to, the catch is always alluded to.
Here's the thing on this.
Yes, please.
When Barack Obama got involved in that decision in the Detroit game, now he knew Texas was a red state And Detroit represents the blue state, Michigan, so he's got
blue, all right.
nothing to lose by saying Dallas got away with something that it was highway robbery or whatever the hell he said. And all of a sudden the NFL, what our commissioner that no one likes, gives a little bit of a plug to the referees, the NFL refs. Hey, let's pull the plug on the Cowboys. I don't care how you guys do it. And sure enough, Green Bay pass, boom, hits the ground. Hey, it's a catch. They'll okay that one. Then the Cowboys, Dez Bryant catches the ball, even takes 1 yard with the ball, and then lunges, and then the ball comes out. And now it's all of a sudden, and the ball does not come out. The ball was moved around but never came out. And all of a sudden, the call goes back. I'm telling you right now, this is a conspiracy.
Yeah, you think there's some
and you know
shenanigans
what? Going
there.
back to the baseball,
Yeah.
the commissioner, if we're going to play this role, then let's play it to the max here. Ty Cobb was offered, and Ty Cobb
What
did
commissioner?
I forgot his name.
There was no commissioner then.
There was no commissioner then.
president-
The reason there were league presidents, the reason
scandal.
there is a commissioner
But did
in
you guys
baseball
hear about this,
is
though?
because of the Black Sox scandal. Judge
Did you hear
Kennesaw
about this
Mountain
one?
Landis. What the Ty Cobb killed his dad?
No. There was a fix in Ty Cobb had a fix in the game, and I guess it's not the commissioner, but the president of the league or whatever.
Yeah, president of the American League.
I gotta look his name up, but it was even in the movie Ty Cobb where he says, you know what, they put it under the rug and they told me to just go away. They didn't want the name Ty Cobb looking bad or whatever. It would hurt baseball. So you know what? They swept it under the carpet there.
Well, you know one of the most famous scandals of all in sports. You ever heard of CCNY, the basketball team?
New York City College, man.
City College of New York, yeah. 1950 and 51, they were unbeatable. They won the NIT and the NCAA.
Right.
They had gone undefeated for I don't know how many games, and I think they were shaving points. I don't
They
know
were
if they
point
lost
shavers.
on purpose, but
And
they were all
Let me
in
tell you,
on
they
it. They
ruined
all shaved
basketball.
points.
They ruined basketball in New York City
Yeah,
for
college
about
basketball
20 years.
really suffered for that one. And that was proven.
Here's another thing too, fellas. I mean, in college you got all these fraternity houses. How easy is it to tell the kid in your fraternity who's playing in this March Madness, hey, you know what? We kind of put a couple bucks on the other team. Can you just miss just 2 shots? Whatever, just make them two shots that you miss. So, win the game, but keep it under
just
the
don't cover.
Keep it under the 8.5 or something. You know.
How
So,
tough is that to do?
You think it would be tougher to go over it or keep it under?
Well, obviously, it's always easier probably to screw up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, on the free throws and so forth.
That's why they always look at the guards, because the guards, you have to look at the guys who control the ball the most. The only way you're really going to shave a game is to influence the man who has the ball in his hand about 50% of the time.
Which is why boxing is obviously the perfect sport for a fix.
Well, I
We
just
all
don't.
saw
You
Raging
know what?
Bull.
I seen it again, and I think it was MMA. This referee just jumped in, called the fight.
Really?
It was the guy didn't even tap. I swear it was this Saturday that I watched the fight on Fox.
Yeah, that's why that
The guy did
sport's
not
getting
even
tainted
tap.
too.
The guy did not even tap, and the announcers are going, I didn't see a tap. I don't know what the hell just went on. And this was fought in Brazil.
So he didn't think the guy was getting beaten, the shit beat out of him,
the
and
guy was
stopped
on
it.
top. The guy
for
was
mercy.
on top.
Oh, really? He was
And
on top of him, and he stopped
was
the
on
fight.
top of him, and the guy on the bottom was a Brazilian. They're fighting in Brazil.
Oh boy,
I don't know. Let's
it's a
put
good
two
way to
and
get
two
killed.
together.
Yeah,
here.
in the good old days.
No,
Colombia,
the
they'd kill you.
Brazilian won the fight.
Oh, well.
But
okay.
the
Well,
fans
that-
of Brazil
even
are
they were
so
booing
much,
him, huh?
so much into fighters down there that they're booing the guy that they
Speaking
gave
of
the
that,
decision
did you
to.
see that wrestler got killed in the ring? What's his name?
No.
Aguayo?
Well, it was in a match with Rey
yeah,
Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio drop
But
kicked him
let
and
me-
killed him.
Let me tell you, and if it had not been Rey Mysterio, I don't know that we would have heard about this.
Well, did you see the quote care the guy got after they dropped him off? You wouldn't believe what they were doing with this guy. The guy's just draped over the lower not turnbuckle, whatever the
rope.
The rope. Thank you. That's what it's called. And he's just dead. I mean, he's dead. And they keep fighting and they keep the wrestling going. And
They
then
keep hitting him?
Yeah, not him, but they keep.
It was a tag team,
yeah,
right?
Somebody, right? And somebody eventually thought,
Is this on video?
He was in Mexico. Yeah, there's a video out there, and eventually somebody, detected that this guy is not
guy's
moving.
not moving. He's
Yeah,
not breathing.
But you should have
He's
seen
not
what they did.
acting.
Yes, the acting was over. And but the way they supposedly took care of him, I mean, a guy with a neck injury, you're supposed to be very careful. They tossed him on a piece of plywood. They didn't have they didn't have the stretcher.
No, they didn't have any
It was
protective thing
unbelievable.
like
They
that.
dropped him on the floor. I mean, it was amazing.
So Armand, the early theory I heard was Mysterio does a kick,
he wasn't ready for it,
and he wasn't.
apparently.
Okay, he's not ready for it.
Right, and took it.
And a lot of guys, look, not. Yes, it's fake, but it doesn't mean some of the impacts
Sure,
aren't
yeah.
fake.
All those hits are
So
Yeah,
very violent.
that's why they have to know it's. They have to
right,
be prepared.
he wasn't
for it.
ready for it,
Right.
and then so he threw himself back.
And he landed on that
And he
turnbuckle.
threw himself back with such force that he basically gave himself whiplash,
yeah.
breaking his spinal.
Right. And
then
Was there any
instant-
survival?
his heart stopped.
Instant
possible?
dead.
Instant.
his heart
death.
stopped. Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
man.
in the ring, but if you watch the video, you just see they keep going, and then eventually somebody says something's wrong here.
And you know what, fellas? Some redneck in Georgia or wherever the fuck, he's like, I told you this was real. I said
yeah,
it all
there's
along.
proof. There's
These
proof.
motherfuckers are telling us that it's not real. There's a dead man in Mexico.
Well, who's the guy that fell? Was it one of the Hearts?
Oh,
that fell?
Bret Hart?
Bret Hart fell.
Did he
I
fall
mean,
from Kemper Arena ceiling?
Was that in Kemper?
I
Of
thought it was
course.
in Kansas City.
Wow.
I know that when they get
was
up
like
in
80
that
feet,
cage
fell, wasn't it?
matches, are you talking about those cage matches?
No,
This guy was
fell
coming-
from the rafters.
He was up there. He's supposed to come in on I don't know what, on some
a
kind of
repelling
pedestal.
rope.
Yeah, or something that broke or whatever. Something went wrong, and he fell 80 feet and killed him.
It killed him.
Yeah, that was
that's
10,
about
15
15
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow.
So,
15.
I mean,
that's not
But this
too
was in
far
the
away.
ring. The guy drop kicked him and killed him.
You're thinking of a Mankind, like Rage in the Cage, where he jumps from the top.
Yeah,
No,
right.
no,
Top of the cage.
This guy was
Yeah, he was
Up on the
way
rafters.
yeah.
up on the rafters, supposed
Right,
to
he
come
was
down.
making his entrance.
There was another. It's not wrestling, but the fans at a Denver Nuggets game literally all had a heart attack. They do one of those mascot drops.
They
Mascot
chopped the
drop.
mascot.
Yeah, it comes in down on a rope,
Oh,
repelling rope.
Oh, okay.
And
Mascot drop.
the guy
Yeah,
in the
I've seen
mascot
that.
suit,
Yeah.
he passes out because it's hot. But as they're lowering him, it looks like they hung him.
Oh, geez.
If he survived.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he
passed
was
out.
passed
Who was
out.
speaking of that? Who was the? Remember, was that the Riddick Bowe fight where the guy
Yeah, with
parachuted
the
in?
Parachute. It was.
Now that's ballsy.
It was Bo versus
Riddick Bowe, I think, right?
It was.
I thought it was Tyson Holyfield.
No,
It was
Holyfield.
Bo
Bowe.
Holyfield.
Riddick Bowe, yeah.
That was a great fight, by the way.
Okay, if you had to interrupt a sporting match, what would your preferred method be?
I've thought about if I'm losing a horse race.
World Cup.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, if you're losing,
No, your method.
what's if you're losing a horse race
Neutron bomb,
and
rice and gas.
you're like, I gotta do something to get a.
I would take the little 5-year-old's ball and throw it out on the track and have the 5-year-old walk out to the middle.
5-year-old. I'd have an infant crawl after
What
its
is
rattle
wrong with
in front of the horses.
You know what? That's a large plate. I just laid down.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie The Killing?
Of course, they're not going to run over the 5-year-old. They'll all go around it, and the race will be called.
Supposedly a horse won't jump on a man, right? Isn't that because they do these? These stuntmen always talk about these charges they do in films, and one of the stuntmen fell and he just lied there, and
I
said
gotta
the horse
tell you
will not
guys-
jump on you.
I got to tell you guys something. I've been partners with my friend owning racehorses. We've owned like 30 of them,
Wow.
and
Another aristocrat.
I've never been on a fucking horse.
Thank goodness.
No,
I've been on a pony at a carnival. When I was a little kid, I hopped on one of these, and I kept kicking the ribs of the fucking thing, and the thing's like,
Wait a
you know
second.
what?
Ocho,
a
you
pony.
You
A
love
pony.
You love
Yeah.
the equine species.
Yeah, you should really ride a jackass to the
Can
to
you-
down
you're
a
telling
gorge.
me-
Jackasses are fast, dude.
Well,
I'm telling you,
They can be.
jackasses.
Sure.
I haven't ridden a horse for years either, but I know my way.
I've never skated.
around
and
a
I've never
horse.
been on a horse.
You never ice skated?
Never roller skated or ice skated.
You're
Oh, you haven't
a
lived.
weirdo, dude.
I'm going to tell you something. Armand.
Never.
I've never
Ice skating?
masturbated either.
Oh,
I heard that's
shut
fun.
Oh, come on.
He's got a story to tell us about that.
There is
man.
no better feeling than when you are on. It doesn't even have to be a thoroughbred horse, but when you're on a horse and you really
Get into it.
Get it to run.
Yeah,
because to feel all of that power and know that you're riding on top of this.
Yeah, that's a little scary to me.
It's something, man.
Yeah. Ever since Christopher Reeve took a spill,
it's a rush.
No way. No way.
I don't.
I almost killed my aunt riding a horse once.
Well, what'd you do? Very proud.
I turned the horse loose. I did the reins and gave it the little nudge. I wasn't wearing spurs or anything, and he knew, and the horse knew, and full gallop. I mean, long strides, and it feels like you're floating, sort of. And
floating. It looks like you're bouncing up and down.
No, that's a gallop. See, a gallop.
He's at a canter.
Yeah, that's a canter or a gallop. No, full stride.
Well, put him in the fucking gate and let him go.
We turn a corner to go towards his barn, and my aunt is in the middle of the field, and I have to start she's not looking. I'm like, he's going to run her over. We couldn't have missed her by more than 2 feet.
All right. Well, let's talk about something interesting. How about this penis?
That is interesting.
This penis transplant. You see that?
No.
Guy got a penis transplant.
What about it?
He feels great. Everything's working.
He got a transplant?
Yeah, apparently he, I don't know, somehow had some kind of, his manhood was amputated or somehow.
I got a lot of questions about this.
And they reattached a penis to him, and now he can ejaculate and urinate. And
time out, though. He had to have a little bit for them to attach.
I don't know about that.
Detachable penis. No, but they had to. I mean, they just don't put on... you can't put it on like a eunuch or whatever the hell they're called.
Sure they may have. I'm sure they had a clip or something.
I can understand hooking up the major blood vessel and the urinary tract, right?
Yes, the ureters.
How do you hook
urethra.
How do you hook up the nervous system to it so you
have
nerves
some forms
of sensation?
Well, that happens a lot. You've seen people that lose a finger or whatever. The nerves regenerate very well. Actually,
and they reconnect to
1 millimeter. I believe it's 1 millimeter a month, something like that.
Wow.
They actually know how fast these axons regenerate. So, yeah.
Well, that a boy for the guy.
He's living a very normal life, apparently, yeah.
What, did they give him a big...
Now, I've also read that in North Carolina several years ago, they actually built a penis from stem cells, from nothing.
Yeah, we got to get into that more, man. I just don't understand how Congress, these people out there, I don't know, right, left.
That's not the issue.
What's the issue then? Because they're voting it down.
Well, it's not as easy as you think it is. That's the issue.
I know it's not as easy, but
it's the issue of practicality. Well, they are. They're trying.
They're using pro-life as a means of not doing it.
That's nothing to do with that, because the skin stem cells are just as pluripotential as you don't need the embryonic stem cells.
Yeah, but they're making it out. It's against their God and all that now.
Nah, it's not an issue anymore.
Okay, anymore, but they have been. It has been a platform.
But now I'm telling you, they don't need the embryonic
lunatics.
They don't need the embryonic stem cells. The skin stem cells are just as...
Well, hold on, Tony. Who's then voting it down?
Nobody's voting it down. It's not as easy as people think to do these things. That's why I think, well, the stem cells, yes, they have the great potential, but they're running into a lot of difficulties of practicality and scientific, not religious objections.
Really? I really thought that
there are obstacles to overcome. In fact, I would say we're probably better off with 3D printing. When they get that down, it's going to be much better than stem cells.
3D printing, what's that?
They're going to be able to, atom by atom building things. And that's nanotechnology and 3D printing.
Biogenetic printing.
You won't need stem cells. This is the atom. We want to build a heart, and you have a lattice or whatever, and you build a heart. Atom by atom. That's coming.
And you put down the pieces from your...
No. You don't need anything. You just start atom by atom and build things.
You don't need a tissue that your body would accept?
Any tissue. Just like, when we do surgery, we have bone bank tissue. No, there's no rejection because it's not from another body. There's no antigens.
I see.
You can take there's no
antigens. We forgot about the antigens, Ocho.
How could you forget about the antigens?
Yeah, he's always neglecting the immunoglobulin Bs and Gs.
Okay, so let me...
Armand does like that biotech.
Oh yeah, buy your cell gene, by the way.
Because this is
coming.
A little
bit. Buy it.
I have I have a spackling, whatever, of knowledge of this subject. Because my daughter wants to go into biomedical engineering.
Oh, okay. Good field.
Okay. And one of my questions to everyone is, how close are we getting to extending human life way out into the 150, 160?
Unfortunately, I think John, Och and I, and probably everybody in this room might just miss it, but your daughter's probably going to be okay.
That's what I kind of told her. I said, I wonder, Claire, if medicine will evolve that you can expect a life of 140, 150
No, I'm talking about
years.
Eternal life. I'm talking about
I don't.
500
Okay, but
years.
would you want?
Yes.
Would you want eternal life?
Yes, I would.
He does.
Ocho?
I you know what?
How about this?
Those
Give me-
donuts you gave me today, if I could have those every day.
What if you gave me
Ecstasy.
this? I'll take 150 years, but then I need a nap for like
Nah.
20.
Why? Why? You're gonna be eternally young. You're assuming you're 150 years old and you're an old man.
But what about your brain?
What about it?
Well, your brain is your brain regenerating? Because if your brain's regenerating,
Sure,
you're
of
losing.
course.
Okay, but then you're
You
losing.
won't need a brain. You know, you've read Kurzweil. You know about the singularity.
Yes, I know
all
about
that
the
stuff's going to be computerized.
Okay, so you're saying that all my memories will be downloaded, and then I can just go access them.
You
Meaning
don't
I
even
can go
need-
access Ocho Man's
What exactly
memories.
is your
Yeah.
body?
You
I mean,
won't
let's
find
just-
anything in
This
my memory.
philosophical, yeah. You don't. Have, of course, Ocho don't have to worry about that. Intellect is not an issue with him.
Well, exactly.
But getting into philosophy now.
Philosophy.
Yes.
We have whiskey
What is
philosophy.
your body? Your senses, right? Your senses. You eat, you shit, you screw.
Right.
Yeah, you eat shit.
You get
and
your penis
reproduce.
transplanted. You do it again.
I got to tell
But
you.
what is that?
Let's knock the screwing off because
Well,
Ocho
you
Man
don't.
doesn't screw in.
I got laid this weekend.
You got laid?
I got laid. Thank you. Thank you.
that?
The long drought is over.
How much did you pay
400
for
years.
this one?
No, it was an ex, and we
It was an ex.
rekindled the
Wow,
old flame.
that's was
And let me
that
tell you
wrestler?
something. Here's what happened. No. This woman is actually a very pretty woman. I'll show you some pictures.
Can we
in-
have
in the
them on
middle-
our site?
In the middle of the second session, now she has a daughter. The daughter's ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend or future boyfriend shows up at the door 1:30 in the morning.
I'm here for the
whimpering. What was he here for?
Gangbang?
Oh,
Go ahead.
looking for the daughter. I mean, this kid is pathetic.
Okay.
Yeah, where is she? I don't know where
ballsy, too.
she said, and you know, the woman, my paramour, told him she's out having fun without you. Well, I bet she's with another guy. Probably, yes.
Wow, and the mom's talking like this
Yeah,
too?
yeah. Well,
Huh,
she's,
got a real one
well, this
there.
kid is a pussy. I mean, well, come on, what's the matter?
Okay,
He's
so what do
whimpering
you
and
do?
sniveling.
That's the way it is.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
I thought you just
But it's-
came up and said, "It's time for you to go home
Yeah,
now,
well,
Eugene."
No, I was enjoying it. His pain was my pleasure. But the very notion, if you were 22, and mind you, her daughter's 16.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
And she's
You'd
out
come
at
up to-
1:30?
Oh, she's out all night. She's out of control. This
Son
kid.
of a bitch.
She's out of control.
That's hot.
But that's not
a
the
real
point.
good mom there.
Well, she can't help it. Believe me, there's no controlling this child. No, she's not a child. She's a
Oh, she's an adult, 16.
well. Anyway, that's beside the point. I have more of an issue with this kid coming, begging and panhandling around at 1:30 in the morning, wondering where this girl
We
is.
definitely need more
making a
morons
fool of
like that
himself.
living to be 150.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
no
going to comment
kidding.
on that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, wisdom will teach him that that's not how you
I
conduct
don't know
yourself.
that time cures all.
That was my
Tony,
kid.
after the 115th birthday,
Yeah, I think you.
he's probably got it down
I would hope so.
to be complete douchebag. And now, why would you want that? Going back to this, though.
What's that? Eternal life?
Yeah, because
Why wouldn't you want that?
Well, because
If you don't age.
Well, here's the thing with me. It's obvious you don't believe in.
Well, you're
heaven
married and
or
I'm
hell
single,
or
so
anything
now
like that.
everybody knows.
My point is, I would like to be somewhere. Okay, I'd like to be in heaven, prick. That's where I'd like to be.
Yeah.
I'd like to be with my families, and I'd like to see my mom and dad again, and so forth. That's the kind of shit I believe.
Yeah, but wouldn't
in.
you want to be with your kids the rest of your life?
I think that
Okay.
I'll see them whenever their time is up.
You have
too.
to die though to see the people.
What do
Is
you
that-
want to live like a fucking vampire for?
You're not a
It's seeing
vampire.
everybody die around you, and
Nobody's
then
dying. If you're living, everybody else is living.
Oh yeah. Well, then
What,
what
you're the
happens
only
with
one that's gonna be,
What
who are
happens
you?
with Earth then? You're
gonna
You're
get too
already
full.
I told
overpopulated.
you don't need to eat anymore. I told you these are you're basically
You
a
don't need
computer
anymore.
They just imprint all your brain.
Fuck, that sounds like some Buck Roger bullshit.
It says it's coming. I'm telling you, they are bioengineering the brain.
How long?
That's
is
what
it-
I was getting to.
When's it
What
getting?
is this? What is this body you have? It's just a shell. It's basically to keep your brain alive. If you don't need that, you don't need food. You don't need anything. You don't need anything to sustain you.
So
you're
what about
existing.
wars?
Come on, that's
How
not
do they
true.
kill
The,
you?
the
True.
brain obviously needs. First
Yes,
of all,
now, but it won't.
so the brain won't need
No,
sugar in the
they're
future.
they're going to integrate you into a computer. You've read Kurzweil.
Yes,
That's what he
I
talks
know,
about.
the power
That's
that
what the singularity is. When your computer and your brain are basically the same thing.
So you're not going to be physically.
No, you will not need this shit. In fact, there'll be like millions of Ochoman, and you can be flying at the speed
what
of light
what he's
toward
saying is you're
other
going to be
galaxies.
living in a virtual reality.
Yes, you're in a reality, but that's what you are now. How do you know where you are now?
Wow,
Except,
hey,
I mean, when you fart, you know where you are. But
Chris, get us that weed. Because this guy is definitely
hunt it
freaking
down.
out.
I'm just saying that's what
freaked out,
science
too.
is heading for, and it's not that outlandish to think that.
I don't know, man. I don't want to be in a computer. I don't want none of that shit. You know what? I'll let you live it, and I'll
I'll
down
remember
at,
you.
I'll look down at you
Yes.
on your.
You'll live. You'll live for eternity in me.
I'll look from upstairs in the heavens and look at the laptop and go, "How you doing in there? How you doing in
How
there?
you doing there, Tron?
Oh yeah, no kidding. That's what you will be. You'll be Tron.
That's not so bad. That was
That
fun.
won't be bad.
Play that game. I
Oh,
got to learn to
son of a
skate.
bitch. Come on.
Come on. Anyway, the guy got a penis implant transplant, so
What about this ejaculation?
they can
bullshit?
transplant a penis and he can come.
What
We're
about
on the
that?
road to
All right, forget
eternal
it.
life.
It's over. I don't want to talk about it. Go back to Minnesota.
Speaking of eternity,
Ocho, Minnesota.
Did you know that now they've turned on CERN again?
Yes.
And they're going to try to prove the Big Bang didn't happen.
Yeah.
That there was no Big Bang.
So is this the religious realm taking over on that one?
No, this is
again,
pure
no,
scientific.
they're trying to prove there's such a thing as rainbow gravity, which would take infinitely much longer than what do they think? 13.76 billion years,
years.
which is what they think the universe, which is what they think the Big Bang began. But they think there are multiverses, multiple universes, and there was no Big Bang.
Wow.
And they're going to try to prove that now because they have the power apparently.
Well, again, what's that going to do for me?
Well,
Well, it's helped. I mean, you drive an
Don't
electric
you want to know
car
the
because
secret of
some of this.
You know what? The only thing I care about,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, is look good. Trying to get this fucking
care about
hair.
that?
You know what? I'll tell you this too.
Would you rather live to be
speaking of-
150 or have hair
I don't want
now?
to live. You're not
He
living
had hair.
150. I got.
Would you rather have hair now?
He had a hair transplant. Remember that? You didn't know him when he had his hair
Yeah,
transplant.
No,
Tell us about your hair transplant.
Well, it wasn't a hair transplant. It was. I went to this guy.
No names.
Yeah, but he was a German guy in St. Louis. How's that sound? And
Franz.
Close.
Yeah, I call him Franz. And
You called him several things, as I
yeah,
recall.
I sat in his office, and he comes up to me, and he goes, "Oh, you have marvelous hair." And I had the crown part. I'm balding. All right, so
the crown, Paul. That's where you wanted
yeah,
the crown.
yeah, that's.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that there's some sort of
You had
transplant involved.
Yeah, you had a tonsure.
I had a tonsure, yeah, whatever the fuck you just called it. Anyway, he goes, what we're going to do, we're going to order this hair. It's human hair from Europe.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to bring it and we're going to put it on your head.
Imported hair.
Yeah, so they took a clip of my hair and so forth, sent it
Match
in.
it in. Yeah, match it up. Yeah.
Maybe about 6 weeks later, this hair pops up. Now, before this whole period, 6-week period, I'm thinking it's just something, just a little piece to
Yeah, you
cover
just-
the
right,
top
you just need a
part.
little divot,
Not
yeah.
this fucking cat. He gives me a whole Bee Gees looking.
Wow.
Sean.
Sean Cassidy deal.
Sean Cassidy.
Wow, hey.
Parted down the
Cool,
middle.
man.
Oh, I love
I've
it.
got this whole full head
Parted down the middle.
on top.
Feathered.
And check this out.
Perm.
This fucking glue.
they glue it on
They
there?
glue it on. That's the only way.
It's like you're an art project.
Exactly.
Decoupage.
All right. Shut up for a second.
I'm Cy Sperling, president of Hair Club for Men.
That is very appropriate.
Yeah, that wasn't it, guys.
Not-
So
yeah,
don't sue us
this is,
with that.
This is the
Chris
Teutonic
sound
Cy
effects.
Sperling.
And the guy gives me this glue.
You have to glue it yourself?
Yeah, you glue it yourself too.
Oh.
So you read it.
So it's a wig.
It's a wig,
Oh,
but
okay.
but it's weaved in. It's weaved in on the sides and so forth. So the flap on the front just sticks out to where you put the glue, you stick it in there, and then you just hold it down again, and then it sticks. But it's weaved in.
That sounds like a lot of work,
A
man.
lot of work, but check this out. Now I read this fucking glue.
How'd it look?
Well, fucking let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk. You two just jump it. I'm telling you right now, this glue it said on it tiles. Tiles. It's
was
made
grout.
It's made for fucking tiles. All right.
So are you, Dojo.
So now I'm playing softball. I got this fucking head of wig on me. All my friends in the dugout are checking me out. I'm sweating because I got hair underneath this fucking beaver on top of my head.
That's hot.
Yeah, that's not hot. That's not hot in the way that you
actually
would think
physically
that you're
hot,
physically
yeah.
hot. And I got sweat just pouring down. I look like that guy on ESPN when that's a whole nother thing.
You look like Albert Brooks on broadcast news when he gets on TV.
Well, I'm telling you,
You got,
Tony,
you got flop sweat.
How about Airplane when he was flying the plane?
Yeah.
fellas, it's like 100 degrees, and I got this wig
Yeah.
on me, and I'm trying to bat, and I got sweat coming down. I got the guys in the dugout making fun of me. I got what's his name? Those twins. They were always announcing the softball games, hockey games.
Colon and semicolon.
No, what
Those, the Feenies.
the Feenies, yeah,
colon
the
and semicolon.
Well, the Feenies, one of the Feenies was even laughing at me, and I'm like,
Oh,
I can't.
that hurts.
Yeah,
Can't have a Feenie laughing at you.
I
They're
went-
nice guys.
They're great guys.
Yeah, boy, if they're laughing.
And
this
I
world
went
coming
back.
to?
I went back to Franz, and I said, "Hey, man, this ain't right. I got shit happening under
Was
my
is los
head.
hier?
I got shit happening under my head.
Yeah.
I broke out in rashes. I'm itching underneath. You got me putting this glue. You can't completely clean this glue out too every time you take a shower.
Oh, right, not water soluble.
And here's a one goofy ass thing. I look like Dr. Five.
Oh yeah.
This fucking thing kept moving back and forth when the hair from the underneath was growing too, and the knots that they put in there, this fucking wig would just go up and down. It was really weird looking, man. It got really scary, and everyone knew. I had to get it off. I sued the fucker.
Wow, you sued him.
I sued him,
Man.
and we settled out of court, you know. But I'm telling you right now, if
Ochoman.
anyone that's doing anything like that, look into it really good. Now, this hair transplant stuff, go with that. Go with people that are really
Strand
going
by
to
strand,
transplant
yeah.
hair, not these wig
Not
things.
tile by tile.
Yeah,
No.
read whatever the hell you got
Read
going
the fine
for
print.
you too. Yeah, I should have known.
I do like
I
how
had to vent this off, fellas.
No, it's
Boy,
fine. I'm glad you got it off your chest.
Glad you
'cause
unbosomed
There's
yourself.
been something I've been wanting to say for a long time as my hair has gone away. White guys made a hell of a stab at making bald look trendy,
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
Well, you know what?
Well, I think it looks better than just a little tuft or roaching it, over.
does. Some
I mean,
guys-
that looks
some-
terrible.
some-
Look,
white
man,
dudes
Bruce
can pull it
Willis.
off.
Bruce Willis looks great.
He
Yul
looks
Brynner
good.
looked good.
He has a good head
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
but Bruce Willis, he's got the hair still
Yeah, he's got a
growing.
good-
Yul Brenner's completely bald.
Yeah, he looked great.
Yeah, he chromed it
Yeah.
up. He's all polished up. Willis looks good, has a nice head. You got to have the right head.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Dr. Fives. Boy, I would recommend those, actually, as a screenwriter. Those are great movies. There's two of them.
I like Dr.
Those are great
Five. Yeah,
movies, aren't
yeah,
they?
you
Wow, he
remember
was
that,
wonderful.
huh?
Remember his assistant, Volnavia?
Oh,
She was good
she
looking.
was hot, yeah.
I liked her. Volnavia.
Yeah.
You should have named your daughter that.
Yeah, I couldn't even say
Abominable
it.
Dr.
I
Fives.
couldn't even
Remember
say
that
it.
Joseph Cotton he killed his wife. He was a surgeon, and he had to get the key out of his own wife.
Right.
That's
Well,
great.
That was in the desert,
that?
wasn't it?
That was
Like
the second one.
The second
that was
one.
his return.
The Oasis, yeah.
Right. That was the return of Dr. Fives. But the original one, he made Joseph Cotton. His wife was shackled to an operating table, and there was this acid coming down. He had 30 minutes to.
Yeah.
He had implanted a key right by her heart. So the guy had to surgically remove the
It's a
key to
great
get the
movie, man.
shackles
I
and
gotta see
release his
this.
wife. It's great because
It was-
Joseph Cotton was a doctor who
I
operated on
think
his
the only
wife
Joe
and killed
Cotton
her.
movie I've ever seen is The Third Man.
You saw Citizen Kane, didn't you?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
course.
he's in Kane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's this with Minnesota's got a law?
Oh yeah, we were looking at that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you know that you're not a sexual offender if you actually? Let me get this right.
Yeah, you gotta
ejaculating on your colleague's food does not constitute a sex crime in Minnesota.
Constitutes a health code violation. I got on
Possibly. We're not condoning this, by the way, but apparently this man.
This is what freaked me out. He told me about this. All right. Now, this guy comes into this girl's office. She's got her hot coffee sitting there. How the fuck does he...
He spunks in her coffee
Yeah,
and
he-
on her
he-
desk.
He's
Who doesn't?
He's pissed off.
Who does this?
Do that to Ochoman's coffee every day.
I mean, how do you think like this to even get you off where you're pissed off at someone and you got like split seconds to do
He may
pull
not have
this
been
off?
pissed off, because
I'm
you know,
so mad.
Well,
Let me
well,
take my pants off.
Well, in the West Indies, it's
God.
if the woman is courting a man, they invite him to dinner, and she puts her juices in his salad.
Oh, shut up.
Really, that's supposed to make him fall in love with her. So maybe he thought that's
Okay.
It could be some sort of
I
fertility
love,
ritual.
I love this lamb meat. What's this taste? What's the seasoning?
It's a little yeasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Newman's
Okay,
own dressing.
I got questions. Armand.
Her last name's Newman.
So I think what Ochoman is asking is,
Yeah.
you see a coworker leave a cup of coffee
Yes.
on their desk.
Let's go.
You
Well,
don't
we were
like
wondering about-
you don't
yeah.
like the coworker.
Yeah,
Right.
but we were wondering about the time.
You've got a
issue.
limited amount of
Yes,
time.
Yeah, you really got to
Right.
get it
Now,
going.
have you ever seen the movie Kinsey?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
okay.
Ochoman didn't bring up no Kinsey.
Ochoman, in the movie Kinsey, they have a subject who comes in voluntarily for I think it's the abnormal sexual study at that point.
That's probably
And
Kinsey.
he announces that he is the world's fastest ejaculator, and that he can do it in 10. No, do you remember the scene, Armand? And that he can do it
I
in
don't
10.
recall.
It takes him about 10 seconds.
Wow.
And the Kinsey assistant goes, "Oh, you're full of crap." And right when he says it, the guy stands up, starts doing it, and Dr. Kinsey, played by Liam Neeson,
yeah.
casually starts his stopwatch and observe, and 10 seconds later,
Ooh,
guy's done.
apparently, Liam Neeson has the biggest dick in Hollywood. That's urban legend around there too.
Well, that's good to know.
Just
Hey,
a little Hollywood
Chris,
lore.
why don't we go to our break right now?
All right, we will head out here from our Ignotainment sponsors, and we'll be back in a few.
We'll be right back, guys. Okay, hey guys, great commercial again. Hey, you know what? This Ignotainment, I can't wait to just kick back some nights and just listen to our stuff. We got some great stuff out there. That's
Yeah,
for
but you know
sure.
what does
Question.
drive you crazy? Sometimes your neighbors get a little on your nerves. And did you hear about the neighbor in Florida that she was sick of her, or he was sick
You
of?
were telling me about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Apparently, someone was getting a bit disgruntled about the neighbor's dog relieving itself
On their yard.
Yeah, even though apparently it I don't know if he cleaned it up or I guess they did. But anyway, he
They're very
accosted
particular
her
about their
that.
homeowner rules in Florida.
Yeah, well,
Very
apparently he
particular.
smeared her face and arms in the crap.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his
I
way.
tell you
Whoa,
what.
what?
Venting his
dog
disgust
or
on-
human?
Human. No, dog. Well, the dog
The
was
dog
smeared
shit
on
in
the
the
human.
Yes,
Yeah.
dog shit. I'm telling you right now.
know you've had-
I have a problem. I have a
Yeah.
problem. Check this out. I have a problem with my neighbors walking their dogs and then shitting in my yard. I know. Don't get me wrong. I know you're gonna pick up the shit.
Yeah.
It still bothers me. You got your own fucking yard. Shit in your own yard. I don't want to see the dog just suddenly moving around.
I've seen your
giving-
yard. I've been tempted to. It's
My
very
yard
it's very
is
tempting.
very good.
Have you
Yes,
It's very nice yard. I make this yard
It's
look
very
like
alluring.
AstroTurf,
I
man.
almost squatted on your yard myself.
Have you guys ever faked it with the dog poop? Like you've been out on a
I
walk and
do
the
it
dog
all-
shits.
I used to do it
and
all the
someone's
time.
standing there and you bend over and act like you're picking
Yes,
it up, but you
yes.
don't really have anything to pick it up with.
And that's
you
another
leave
thing.
it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do that.
Yeah.
When I had
I didn't know
that-
you had a. Oh,
I get all dramatic.
That old
about
dog
it.
you had. What was it? Pasha.
Oh,
That
I
dog?
had Pasha. I let him go. He
Pasha shit everywhere.
he wanted, yeah.
I've never. That dog.
I get all
Unbelievable.
dramatic about it. Like I would. Like
That
if
dog
I
had
didn't-
irritable bowel.
Like if I had, like there was a scrap of something laying on the ground, I would grab it and act like it was the bag, and would act like I had
Wow.
a bag.
No,
and
no,
scooping
he's
it up
right.
to make
I-
it legit, like to
And
I
you
had-
left it.
I
Yeah,
had
of
that
course,
dog.
yeah.
Very, very clever. Very cagey.
Hey, I had that Caro dog, a little dog. You
I don't
never
remember
seen
that
him?
dog. I remember Pasha.
I
That dog
had-
was drooling all the time.
Yeah, he was a boxer. He was a man's man.
Oh,
dog,
he was a real
okay?
dog. Yeah, that was a dog.
I had this. What is that? Chihuahua or what? Not Chihuahua. What are those little fucking dogs? They're
Chihuahua.
not Chihuahua. It's a little dog. He's a cute little guy, but yeah, you don't see a
Yes.
big guy walking a little dog. It just doesn't make sense to me. And
Right.
he'd go in the yard and does his little pebble bullshit. And I'm not gonna. I did what Chris said.
In this neighborhood you live in now?
Yeah, and
Oh.
I'd act like I'm picking the shit up. I'm not
Look,
picking
man,
up
there's
shit.
no need to pick up rabbit droppings, okay?
Exactly.
Now, if you have a dog bigger than a beagle,
yeah.
you probably need to take care of it, right?
Well,
you got a
the
Labrador
dog I had now.
or a big
that
Neapolitan
90-pound
Mastiff, you probably need to be taking care of the dog's
this-
business.
this
But
90
worse,
pounder.
Because if you pick up dog poop,
Oh God. Well, listen.
there's no you're not hurting anyone's yard. You know what hurts a person's yard more is letting your dog take a leak in that yard, because that's going to kill the grass.
You
Yeah.
know
Well,
what?
the other is nitrogen fixation. That should be okay.
I got guys that come to my yard every 3-4 times a year, and they're laying down the shit. If I see one dandelion, I'm pissed off.
Oh, so you got some plebs who work for you, some servants.
I have some
Of course, he's
servants.
the 1%.
Of course.
He owns a string of racehorses.
I did.
He actually
I
rides
did.
them into work here.
I got to tell you though, before we
Did you
get
see the
into
4
horses,
Ethiopians that carried him in to work this morning?
on the big bed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then,
I
you
was
know,
laid out with grapes being
your
tossed in my
bearers,
mouth.
your litter bearers.
Oh fuck!
And
Those
then
were
one
the
of the
He
days.
fans-
really does want to be a
Fans him
Roman.
with a palm frond.
He'd like to be a
Feeds him
Roman,
grape.
Assyrian,
I could see him-
Sumerian emperor.
He looks
in
like
former
Nero.
Life.
Yeah, I could see him being Nero.
Nero.
Hey, speaking of which, Putin, that guy, he's living the life, isn't he?
Oh, those hot
God,
young
those
chicks dig him, man.
Oh, even Bill Clinton's got to be jealous of him.
Who do you have?
Speaking
Some
of-
fat
Nova.
broad?
No, you should see her.
Putin. Oh, he's
Mon-
getting laid.
Monica Lewinsky had a
Thank
big
you.
article in the New York Times this weekend.
Oh, Putin.
Okay,
Worth
And let me
60
tell
billion.
you. Listen up now. She
Yeah.
lives in
Oh,
your neck
hurry
of
it
the
up.
woods.
You got to ruin everything.
What,
Go.
Monica Lewinsky had an article
In the New York Times this weekend about
come
what?
on.
Yeah, and she's looking hot.
I like the girls that are after Putin. Did you see that
no
calendar?
kidding.
Oh, they had a car wash.
And they had that car wash. It
Oh.
was unbelievable car wash. These chicks, these hot chicks. dig 'em.
Boy.
The Ochoman actually he rode into work today on I'll Have Another. He just gets old
Rags to
Derby
riches.
winners and he rides
Yes.
them in.
No,
Who was the last Philly to win? Winning Colors.
Winning Colors was
Last Philly to win the Kentucky Derby.
What about Rachel Alexander? Didn't she win one?
Did she win the Derby?
Well, no,
There's only three: Regret,
Nope.
Winning Colors, and
What year?
I'll think of the other. Regret
Winning
was
Colors.
1915.
Nope.
Winning Colors was like what 2001. It's been a while.
1988.
1980. Very good. And there's another one too. Don't tell me. There's another one. There's three.
Well, let's not
You
keep
should
it
know
empty
that.
air.
You're the
I don't get into
a
names.
horse racing guy.
You're spelling Phillies wrong.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, not PH.
Yeah.
Don't spell it the Ochoman way.
No Philadelphia Philly has ever won the Kentucky Derby. We can
that's a
confirm
fact.
that.
There's no
Jack.
silent K in Philly.
Let's see.
Well,
Do you know what there's a great
Genuine
tri-
risk.
Genuine
in
risk.
1980.
There it is.
There's a
That's
great
it.
trivia
Yeah.
question for morons, which is name the horse that's won the Kentucky Derby the most times.
yeah.
And you'd be shocked at how many people fall for this.
Well, I got to tell you what I fell for in college was this fucking instructor in the history class saying, "Who's buried in the unknown soldier's tomb?" And I'm like, "Oh, I gotta know this one."
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, I gotta know this.
Hey, when
one.
you came to work for me when I was at Panteras, did we
JFK?
send you after the pepperoni slicer?
yeah, you
That-
guys. sent
we
me
always
for-
had all. We'd send people after a bucket of steam, stuff like that. You never know when they come back.
Man, that was great life back then.
There was one at the ballpark. They would, and this was really creative. They would send a kid looking for the key to the batter's box. Say, we cannot start the game unless
That's right, you
we
gotta
get
unlock the
key
batter's
to the
box.
batter's box.
Very good.
Did they do it?
Yes.
too?
Every year there'd be a kid running around the stadium looking for a key to
Where's
the batter's
key?
box.
Where's the key?
You got ink for the bullpen? God.
That's beautiful.
You eat
Beautiful
pieces
stuff.
of shit for breakfast?
Hey guys,
Is it time?
Is it time? Yes, it's time for our word of the day.
Hey, we didn't have one last week. You omitted that.
Well, you know
You
what? We
eschewed
were
the
in,
word of the day.
we were in such good discussion.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, we were having such good talk.
We got a lot of things ironed out last week.
This session's been pretty shitty. So.
Yeah, we haven't been so interesting today. I apologize for that.
Well, it's because of and
A
nothing
little
really happening.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
All right, our word for today is ostentatious.
Ostentatious.
Ostentatious,
Oh, come
yeah.
on, they know that.
All right, let's hear it from Chris first.
So ostentatious
Ostentatious.
means isn't it like flamboyant sort of? Yeah.
That's close, you know.
Yeah, okay. What about you there?
Means making an ass of yourself in a big productive way. You have an ostentatious behavior. You have an ostentatious outfit. Something that's loud, crude. maybe even touching the rude
Well,
rail.
I think it's more ostentatious is more in poor taste, but overdone.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
yeah,
what
you
I was
overly
thinking.
gauche, if you will.
Yes.
Pretentious.
Pretentious. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Overly
I-
ornate.
I'll give it all to you guys on that one. And we've got a couple things that went on today in this March 24 history. 1933, Babe Ruth does something that was really unheard of at the time.
Well, Babe Ruth.
Well, so
Shows
it's
up
March
to the
20
ballpark was not drunk.
So
Yeah,
it's
852
so it's-
hot dogs.
Hold on, you got to think this one through because it's the
Well,
24th.
it's not during the season.
1933, so it's spring training, and the Yankees usually were in Florida.
Where were they? In Vero Beach? Isn't
That
where
was the
Yan-
Dodgers.
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't know where the Yankees were back then.
He,
So he
actually
did
shows
something.
up,
married.
All right, you got a couple
got-
more
he got
seconds so that we
married.
can't bore everybody
He got
here.
married.
shows up to spring training. Actually,
March
Had a kid.
24th. All right, it's done. It's done. Quit guessing. March 24th, 1933, Babe Ruth takes a $23,000 pay cut, which is indicative of the Depression era.
Indicative.
It is indicative.
Indicative.
Not
What did I
indicative.
say?
Indicative.
Stan the Man did that at one point too. if I
Yeah, but
remember
it
right.
wasn't during Depression
No.
era.
No, he
That's-
just did it because he said I wasn't as valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was making the first player to make six figures.
Babe Ruth, yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
You know.
I gotta tell you guys another quick question
something
here
else
about.
happened?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of interesting. 1837,
Okay.
March 24. This is in sports now.
No.
Something happened in Canada. I think
Canada.
this is really cool.
In what year?
1837,
In
March
Canada.
24.
They played their first hockey game.
It's not sports.
Oh, it's
not
not sports.
Not sports.
Oh.
Not
I don't think it was
sports
even
related.
really Canada until the 1860s.
Well, there was, because I wouldn't just make this shit up.
I know, but it wasn't
You wouldn't
called
make it up.
It
Canada.
was a Commonwealth still,
yeah,
right?
I think. they
Well,
were-
I'll give it to you guys. There's no way you'll know about this. 1837, March 24, 1837, Canada gives black citizens the right to vote.
Oh.
In 1837, they still said,
yeah,
you
but
know,
how many black citizens do they have?
well, if I was
One.
a black guy back then, I would definitely
do
run
you know
up
when the
north.
American
I
Indians
would
got the
love
right to
do
vote in this
that.
country? Do you know what year the American
No,
Indians?
no.
Anybody want to guess?
1952.
I'll say 1895.
1918.
I think Chris wins. 1924.
I knew it was right around
I
there,
said
yeah.
1895. All right. Okay.
A lot of people are surprised at that.
I got one more sports in today's history.
Oh, well, this is sports.
This is sports. 1936, March 24th, Red Wings beat Montreal Maroons. Mm-hmm. How long did this hockey game take?
Is this the 8-period game?
Close, very close. Good call, Tony. It was a 9-period game
9.
that went 176 minutes and ended in a 1-0 Red Wings beat. I
How
hate
would you
to
like
write-
to see that in a
I
Stanley
assume
Cup
that's the record?
final? Yeah, oh yeah. How would you like to see that in a Stanley Cup?
0-0 throughout the whole. I mean,
Game 7.
Would you be kind of wore out as a fan too after a while?
yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
you'd be
have
wore
someone
out.
score. But you know what? I love that in the NHL playoff. By the way, I love watching.
I love it too.
playoff.
Remember the Blues? Was it last year or the year before? The St. Louis Blues and the Blackhawks in their series went to like 4 overtimes or 3 overtimes.
Seventh
And,
period.
and
I
who
like it.
lost?
Who
Yeah,
else?
we always lose
well,
those
the Blackhawks-
overtimes. We never.
The Blackhawks lost the game, but the Blues.
Yeah,
Blues
but we
lost the
always
series.
always lose the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
I'm ready for my picks.
Are you
All
ready
right.
for them? Here we go.
I'm ready for my picks, and then we'll go to the. We obviously still don't have. Hold on, hold off on that music for a second. Our guy's not in today.
What about
again.
the emails? Yeah.
Yeah, our guy's not in. Chris,
Where's he?
Washer and dryer probably.
I'll look on the email system here while you're reading
Okay,
through your
good
stuff
call.
and see
Is
if I
this
can
kid
find
sick again?
Kids say
Did you say washer and dryer? Is that
It's
what
like a family feud. Take the 100 people's best 5 answers on the board.
Oh, for why?
Why T.O.'s
is
not
not-
in
yeah.
today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should have been our actual questions of the day.
Yeah.
All right.
General apathy.
Get ready. Get set. It's time for the Ochoman's Big Picks of the Day.
Well, I tell you what, guys. In our last show, the Ocho Man went 3-0. And
That's
your
not
big
good
stock
enough.
play was a success too. You've been
Well, actually, no.
stellar with that one.
Yeah, that was a good pick, but Ohio State did win the National Wrestling Championship.
I don't give a shit about Ohio
Hey,
State
that was
in
my
wrestling.
prediction. We have that on tape.
Doesn't matter if you're not going to bet it. If you can't bet it, what the hell's there to watch? It's like
Do they
watching
not
women's
offer lines
basketball.
on wrestling?
I don't know.
No,
maybe-
there's
I don't know.
nothing there. There's nothing there. I don't know why they want to roll around for nothing. There's no betting involved, unless you're at a
glory.
cockfight.
That's why.
Anyway, I got a game today, Miami versus Richmond, and the line started off at -1.
this-
Richmond Spiders
Is this basketball?
basketball, and it's went to -2.5, and I'm all over it. I love Richmond in the spot. That's my big NCAA
They're
play.
getting 2 points? Two and a
No,
half?
they're giving
Oh, they're
2.5
giving- okay.
now. So
Oh.
it's went up 1.5 points. I like the Richmond Spiders taking on Miami, Florida, and that's my one play. And I'm going back to what's been hot for me here is the New York Rangers at home taking on the LA Kings.
Man, they're good.
Yeah, and the line right now is only -137 to -140. The Kings have been playing well, but I'm going to jump all over the Rangers here. They have to stay intact here on top. I like the Rangers to win this one. And on that note, now New York Islanders, they're butting heads with the Rangers too, up on the top of the division, and they're taking on Minnesota. I like Minnesota on the away side here. The road dogs at +140. That's what I got on this one. I like the road dogs, Minnesota Stars. They're not. Are they still called the Stars? By the way.
Yeah, they're still
Fuck
fucking
how
Stars.
they have
I
changed
got
names.
a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, babe.
Do the Islanders still play on Long Island, or did they move yet?
I thought they played in.
I thought they were supposed to move to Brooklyn. Has that happened?
I haven't heard that yet. Has that went down yet?
I don't know.
Well, there's a Brooklyn basketball team.
And
isn't
that's
there?
where they're supposed to play at the
No,
I'm
Barclays
not sure
Center.
on that,
No,
guys.
they still play it in
Nassau?
Yeah, in
Nassau County, yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Glendale.
dump.
Yeah.
Well,
What's the Brooklyn
shithole.
basketball
They're doing
team
pretty
called?
good.
What are they
Nets.
called?
Nets.
Oh,
Nets.
it used to be
Moved
New
over
York
from New
Nets.
Jersey.
It used to be New
Oh,
Jersey.
New Jersey Nets. Yeah,
James
they moved to
team.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Beautiful arena.
What was it? The Brooklyn they were the Dodgers, but before that they were the Robins. Brooklyn Robins.
The Dodgers were the Robins for
Yeah.
a couple years, I think,
Yeah.
in the late 20s or early 30s.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Robins.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually were. They're
And
great.
I did-
the
I
Yankees
did
were
not
the.
know that,
I think
guys.
they were the Panatellas.
Hilltoppers.
Well, they're that too, but I think they had some. What they call the?
I have no
No,
idea.
weren't they the Highlanders?
Who
That's
gives
what I
a
just
fuck?
said.
Let me
You
said
finish my.
Hilltoppers, didn't you?
Oh, Hilltop. I think Highlanders.
Did you say
is correct.
Hilltoppers?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
he did say Hilltop.
Highlanders,
Highlanders
yeah.
is correct.
Highlanders.
Yeah.
Hilltoppers.
They only became the Yankees in like 1916,
Yeah,
1918.
that was.
All right, and so that's my three big plays for today. I went 3-0. I'm on a roll again. Armand, you got anything on the stock?
I think I'd hit that sell, Gene. It went down about 5 points yesterday, so I would get on. I'd jump on Celgene.
I would
Celgene.
CLG.
All right, that's our plays for March 24th. How about our emails there, Chris?
All right, we got a couple emails
Oh, boy.
here. They're seemingly mild from what I
Oh,
can see.
damn it!
We'll see.
Are we getting any plays on the Terrence Williams jersey? Or
Oh, yeah, we've got a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
All
got
right.
a bunch.
Okay.
They understand the rules of the game because I
they-
don't.
Shut up. Who
I think
asked
they
you
understand
anyway?
the rules more than we do.
All right, go ahead.
So,
We're gonna
and-
get sued.
Ochoman, I
Yeah.
have a 3-part email for you here.
Okay, three
First
part
of all-
Art triptych.
Man.
First of all, easy one. Who's your selection to win March Madness? Second,
Simple enough.
Kentucky's not going to lose.
Armand is hard on you. Is he that much of an asshole off the show?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
he's been a prick all his life. Trust me.
And third, did you receive the most recent update on your vehicle? I just got mine from them, and it was free. I didn't have to. Pay
What?
for
He's
it.
got a Tesla too?
Yeah, that's what he
Wow,
says.
okay.
He says he
not a
has an
Tesla guy.
Gee, I didn't-
an S80 or
85?
S85.
Yeah, Model
And,
S85.
and he got his
well,
upgrade from them. and
Okay,
didn't have to
smart
pay
ass.
for it.
I know you got your because you have a S85.
doesn't
That
make
cuts me
sense.
to the quick being insulted by a Tesla.
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
okay. That's
I thought
what
he
it
was
says.
just an
Did you
ordinary
get the
citizen.
The most
No, I
recent
haven't
update.
gotten it yet.
update. Yeah, is that what it is? It's an update.
It's an update.
Software update.
Yeah, software
oh,
update.
a software
And
update.
if the show starts doing a little bit better, then I can get my
Hey,
update.
I'm going to make
How's
a
that?
prediction.
Oh, God.
I don't
That's
think
from
Kentucky's going
Andy.
to win.
Kentucky's going to
You
win.
want to bet?
I got Kentucky winning.
I know. I don't think they will.
Oh, you don't think so?
Give him the field.
You want to bet
Give him
lunch?
the
I'm going
field.
to take the I'm going to take the field
Give
for
him the
lunch.
field.
So that's from Andy from Miami.
Why don't we make it some sort of bet that it's some sort of show bet? I tell you what, our show's on again Friday, and why not get the people out there to come up with a bet between me and Armand on this
Okay,
wager?
I don't buy
because
it.
I don't
believe it.
I don't think Kentucky's going to lose. How about that?
I don't think they're going to win.
Oh, all right. So emailers out there, you could email us at what is it? Ochoman at
Ochoman.com.
And you guys let us know what this bet's going to be, because I will definitely go all out on this one. You better too. Whatever the emailers come up with,
You might be able to
Wait a
buy-
minute, no sexual acts or anything
No,
perverse.
no.
I know what kind of listeners you have.
The loser has to.
Well, you're the one talking about ejaculation in Minnesota.
I'm just trying to be.
The loser has to buy the upgrade on the Tesla.
Take it easy.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah,
That's good.
No,
I
we're
thought the
not
guy
doing
meant.
that.
I thought the guy was saying they like switched out the battery or something.
No.
Okay.
Take it easy.
So hey,
All
Ocho
right.
Man. So you'd seem like that you would be an extremely superstitious guy.
Very superstitious.
Do you have any specific
Who
superstitions
was
you'd like
the
to-
last one?
The last
though?
one was Andy from Miami.
Hi, Andy.
Andy from
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, I am
Very
a
cool.
dick, Andy. Yes.
So you'd seem like
unfortunate.
you'd be an extremely superstitious guy. Do you have any specific superstitions that you'd like to tell us about? Also, is Jimbo off the show for good? He's a dick. Mike from Chicago.
Yeah, Jimbo's off the show, and he's got his own show. He's doing very well. God bless him. And that's the type of atmosphere
Yes,
for
camaraderie.
Jimbo.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't free up like we do on this show. But you know what? That's
Has a
what he's
different
got.
niche.
Yeah, different niche, different leash, and a different niche. For
quiche.
us, though, we're moving on. We got a great show here. I love my guys. I love this crew, and I'm going to roll with them. And as for superstition, I got to tell you, I'm always about, in horse racing, I don't like to stand anywhere but the winner's circle when my horses are running. So
Speaking of which, did your mom or your grandmother, when you were a kid or even an
Yeah.
adult, did they always, after you drank your coffee,
We-
they make you read your
how about,
fortune in the
How about
in
if
the,
I tell you
coffee
I
cup?
still do it?
You
and
do it?
I
Oh,
read it.
I didn't know you did that.
I read it, and I
Oh,
even
are
took
you
a
good at it?
picture. I even took a picture on my Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and showed it to people what I seen.
Well,
and
how do
my-
you do it? Do you just flip over the cup or do you just spin it?
You flip it over,
Uh-huh.
then you spin it three times.
Three
as
times.
Each time you're spinning
Yeah.
it,
I'm so confused right now.
you're asking what
When you
what
drink
you're
the
asking about
espresso, the
there.
real thick coffee,
yeah, of course.
right,
And
and whatever
it
is
has
left
the
in the
fluff.
cup, you
Okay.
turn it over, and well, he just gave you the technique, and then they
Three
read
times,
your
and-
fortune in
and
the
you
cup.
turn it clockwise.
How do you
So
read
it's
your
reading the
fortune?
coffee grinds
Yes,
instead of
what's
the
left,
tea leaves.
yes, right.
Okay.
But how do you,
You know-
read them? I don't understand.
Well, ask him. He's the one that runs the tea room.
You not a tea room, it's coffee, and what you're doing is basically you flip it over, but you don't flip it over right from the get-go. You turn it three times, and then you put it on the edge of the coffee so air gets into it. And once the air gets in, it dries it up. Then you flip it over, everything's dried up, and then you what you're looking for are birds. You're looking for horses. You're looking.
I had
for
one. She read it.
camels.
It was a woman, and I swear it did look like one of those flaps on on a truck. It would look like a woman, the outline of a woman.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you have a woman in your future.
Way
Yeah,
to get the silhouette.
Yeah,
but wait
exactly.
A minute. Wait a minute.
Really, it looked just like that.
Okay, it might have been, but not on the fucking flatbed truck or
No, on the
No, he
flap.
means the mud flap.
The mud flap.
You know
Oh,
the mud
okay.
flaps that have
It
those
looks like
silver
that line
silhouetted
says
naked
there-
Yeah,
ladies.
that's the pine woman that you see.
Every characteristic in the coffee is supposed to be traditional. It's not supposed to have trucks or
No, she said this is looks. You have a woman, and it looked like the silhouette of a woman. It really did.
I'd love to maybe on one of our segments we could drink some coffee, and I'd love to read all three.
Oh, that'd
you
be
guys.
good. Good idea.
I'd like to. Yeah.
And,
I gotta
find-
see it.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
definitely see. And here's another thing about that: you
You know,
don't read.
Ochoman is a certified witch doctor. I mean,
Are you
really?
Yeah, you've never seen him put a bone
No.
in his nose?
Blow that shit
Well,
out.
Very good.
In his mouth, maybe. Oh,
Okay, and
You know, my grandma she had a superstition. We had some visitors once, and we went to the airport, and when the visitors left, she threw these rocks after them. And I asked her, "Why'd you do that?" She says, well, "That's so they don't come back." If you want them to come back, you drop water. But if
Well-
you don't want them to come back, you throw rocks.
is this
I'm
like,
Did you know
not-
that one?
I'm not done.
is
I'm
this
not
like
done.
Armenian super?
That's a Armenian superstition.
Another Armenian superstition
yours?
is you don't eat the watermelon you cut the head part off. You just cut that part off because if you eat that part, your dad will die. Yeah, we have that
The
one.
head part of the watermelon.
That one I haven't heard.
Wait,
that
so what's
one-
the head part of the watermelon?
The head part is the
end?
stem.
Gotcha.
The stem
Okay.
part.
Yep.
Oh.
Where it connects to the vine. Sure.
Yeah, you
I
don't.
should be good then.
Yeah, you don't
Never eaten
eat
watermelon.
that
Don't eat
part.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever eaten that.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't eat even
What
the
happens
good
if you cut
part.
the umbilical cord of your child?
Would you stop it? This is stuff that we
You guys
take
walk
very
in tomorrow
seriously.
and just like slamming watermelon stems.
and on the coffee, back
You
to
got an
the
insurance policy on your father?
back to the coffee reading.
Yeah.
You don't read at night either.
Okay.
You don't read in the dark, of course.
No, but you don't read.
My
at
dad
night. You
actually
don't-
listens to the show, so I'm not
Oh.
going to answer that. Thanks,
What
Dad.
about like a wishbone? Anything there?
That's typical bullshit.
Typical. Okay.
Everyone does that. Pull the wishbone, make a wish, whatever. But that's
Any
definitely
traditions involving a goat or superstitions?
well, actually, goats we use them at racetracks to put them in our
Do they
stables with the
really
horses.
keep the horses company?
Yeah,
Like to make
they really do relax
so
the horses.
fascinating.
You'll have a real pissed off horse, and then you put that fucking goat around him,
Yeah.
and he really relaxes the shit out of that horse.
That's amazing. I mean, does the horse
How
think
do
it's a
you even
miniature
find-
horse?
How do you
or-
find a
Got
goat?
a sound effect.
How do you fucking find a goat in less than a second?
I don't know, but I'm interested to know that.
No,
that
The guy that ejaculates in
that-
10 seconds.
that a
Yes,
real
T.O.
charged
had
up-
it in his desk.
a real charged up
Oh,
stallion
that's
Right.
would
That's a
get
very interesting
relaxed
comment you just
by the
made.
presence of a goat.
It relaxes
Yeah.
them. It relaxes them. And as for other superstitions, basically, when it comes to baseball, I sit on my blue couch. I don't sit on. I'm sorry. During a football game, I sit on my blue couch, and during a baseball game, I sit on my red couch. The Cincinnati Reds and the Dallas Cowboys are blue. I do not move from those areas. I don't like my father-in-law. He cost me the Cowboy Green Bay game. He turned the light off. He turned the light off.
And
I
he
told
read-
him.
and he read your
I
fortune
told him
in the dark?
don't touch the light. He touched the light. He turned it on, and next thing you know, that son of a bitch throws a pass right down there.
You can't lose the karmic energy that's going on.
I bought a Dallas Cowboy ring, though, a 92 replica
Super
Super
Bowl?
Bowl ring
Okay.
that now is the diffuser of all negatives in my house.
Bad hoodoo.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Wow.
this will definitely
You've
stop my
purged
wife.
all the demons from the.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
I told you he's a witch doctor.
I tell you what, guys. Anything else you guys like to add for
Now,
today?
speaking of that sort of thing, I watched White. You ever seen White Zombie, the movie with Bela Lugosi?
No.
Well, you guys were talking about
1920 movie?
yeah, 1932.
Wow. No, I never knew they did a
It's
zombie
really-
one.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah,
Well, what
Might
the
be the
fuck? You
first-
just say watch it. Why
might be
do
the
we-
first zombie movie. We were talking about Walking Dead. I've never seen
Walking
it.
Dead. You never seen
Never
Walking
seen it.
Dead.
Not one.
That's what's wrong with you. All you do is watch these black and white fucking idiot shows.
The writing is so good in Walking Dead. And
This last show was outstanding.
It's
I'm not
just
giving
been
anything
dynamite.
away here.
No.
But this
Okay.
last show,
Dynamite.
hey, okay, we got the zombie effect here.
Bela Lugosi.
All right,
Before
so
he was shooting up formaldehyde.
Well, you know.
whatever it takes.
World ended,
Yeah,
didn't
you
get
got
the
him
memo?
off.
All right, my friends, Armand, Tony, Chris, great show again.
Thanks,
I'm betting on
Ochoman.
Armand's UCLA Bruins in the next round, by the way.
And guys, let's go with that. Let's go with that email call.
Yeah, the bet.
The bet. I want to hear a good bet out there that
I'm
me
sure
and him,
we'll get a
because
bunch
I'm
of them.
telling you, Kentucky's not losing this one. From Armand,
Not gonna
Tony,
happen.
Chris, Ochoman, we are out of here.
And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go. Come on. Ah!
The Ocho Man, Behind the Eight Ball, only on Ignotainment. Leave us your questions and comments below this podcast in the comments section of the iTunes Podcast Store.